when he is such a good player on the perimeter?
Well, the same way we always deal with it. You know, it's not a situation where we're going to, take Rudy out of the game because of a cross match. You know, that Rudy's one of our anchors, and particularly on the defensive end. So the other guys on the court have to be shifted and ready to help. And if we get in switching situations, we'd rather not, the majority of the time. But those things happen as well in order to take away jump shots, and you just do your best to make them contested. But it's no mystery as far as what we see on a daily basis or a night in, night out. And Al's one of the best guys in the league at picking and popping and spacing, and Kyrie knows how to find him. So those 2-on-2 kind of pick and roll matchups are important, but there's a lot of other things that hopefully we can be solid defensively that Rudy gives us where I'd have to answer more questions, and I'd ask myself questions if I were to, take Rudy out of the game. So that matchup's going to happen. Hopefully we have matchups on the other end where Rudy can be effective on the offensive glass and do some things like that where we try to take advantage of the things that he can do.
Well, you talk about defensive consistency and maintaining it for all 4 quarters, but what are those little things that you look for in order to do that?
Well, one of the issues we've had, and not so much last game, is fouling at various times where there's just a level of discipline that we have to have. Our last game, our defense wasn't good enough to overcome, 9 of 30 from the three-point line. And, we had a stretch where we were really scoring the ball, and we had a couple guys out, and we were clicking in a different way offensively. And I won't say we were winning games with our offense because our defense was pretty good too, but we're about to play some of the best teams in the league. And, you're not going to be perfect, but, we have to have a level of intensity where we don't have breakdowns. We can't miss somebody crash into the offensive glass when we actually do get a stop. We have to be back in transition, not just be back, but really be ready and set. And those things give you a chance to play. And maybe one of the biggest things that's hurt our defense is just turning the ball over. And, that was a problem the first quarter the other night. And it's something that we've been much better at and limited. But if we turn the ball over or don't get back in transition, all the little things that we talk about in the half court don't really matter much.
You're talking about the turnovers on offense. Mm-hmm. Is that just a matter of just not moving the ball or off ball movement and all of that?
Sometimes for us it has to do with moving the ball. The guys are trying to make passes. We pass the ball a lot, relatively speaking, each possession. The other night, a couple of them were just drop passes, where you're trying to make the right play, and guys got to secure the ball. Sometimes it's an errant pass. So passing has been something that we've tried to emphasize consistently. And when you say passing, it's not just the passer, it's the guy receiving the pass. And we need to make sure that, particularly if we've had a couple like that, the next possession we don't make a high-risk play.
What was your reaction when you found out about Gordon's injury, and what kind of interaction have you had with him?
Well, Gordon was a heck of a player, a great player for us, and I think, everybody understands the decision that he made. So to see him get hurt, it was hard. He felt horrible for him. And, I think most of the guys on our team reached out. I know I did, and I think he was appreciative of that. And at this point, we wish him well in his rehab. Hopefully he's back soon. And at the same time, our group's moved on too. So, that's separate from Gordon's injury. I think with respect to his injury, everybody feels for him and wants him to be healthy. And at the same time, we're in a position with our team now where, we're headed, getting into the chunk of the season, the middle of the season, and we're focused on that too.
You know Gordon much better than Celtic fans because they have hardly seen anything of him. Mm-hmm. What does he bring to the table?
Well, he'll bring the same things to Boston that he brought to us. I think his versatility on the offensive end, his durability. Ironically, he had, this was a severe injury, but he's been, one of the most durable players in the league. And he's a competitor, and, I guess the answer is a lot of good things.
Coach, Jonas had two not productive seasons here in Boston. Just what impact has he made on your team so far?
I'm sorry?
Jonas, just the impact that he's made on your team so far.
Well, I think for a lot of players, for all of us, sometimes changing scenery is timely. And, Jonas knew coming in that, there may not be a lot of minutes for him, at the start, and that's something that he was willing to accept, but or live with, but maybe not accept entirely, and in a good way, that he was going to continue to compete. And he kept himself ready, and then when Joe Johnson got hurt, there was an opportunity for him to play. And he's, for us, his energy and his activity have been a boost for us defensively, and then I think his ability to move the ball, both to move the ball and to move without the ball, have been things that he's really demonstrated and have helped us.
He's a pretty good rebounder too, isn't he?
He is a good rebounder. Yeah, he's a good rebounder, good pass. I think he's a solid basketball player, I think he's able to take advantage of the opportunities that he has, and as a result, oftentimes those opportunities grow.
Thanks,
Okay.